Hello everyone, my name is Winters and welcome back to this Let's Play series of Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. We are continuing on exactly from where we left off. We currently have 5 jobs in the garage. We're going to work on this one in this episode. So let's take a gander and see what we have to do. Repair all engine faults. Okay, so we'll mark off what's already discovered. Engine is working but it's choppy. Repair all running gear faults. So we'll mark off those as well. Transmission not responsive and repair all gearbox faults. Alright, let's see if we can move it to the test path. Alright, engine cannot start. Apparently the engine is working, but it can't start. Because it said that in the description, didn't it? Okay, so it's diagnostics time. Oh god. Right, we have to strip her down, but still we should do diagnostics. Because that will identify a lot of the parts that require work for us. So yeah, good idea to do that. Okay, tires are fine. Next up is the electronics, which means breaking out the old multimeter. And we'll see if this returns anything. I'm not really expecting this to come back with anything, but it might. Right, alternator and starter. Okay. Next is a compression test. This is definitely going to come back with stuff. Pistons, piston rings, possibly crankshaft, possibly camshafts. Most likely pistons, piston McConnell rod, crankshaft. Yeah, piston rings, exactly what I said. Next then is OBD port, which I'm actually surprised it has. That's interesting. This will probably come back with ignition coils. Yep, sure enough, ignition coils, spark plugs. That just leaves a fuel pressure test. So this is going to be things like fuel filter, fuel pump, fuel rails, that kind of stuff. Fuel pump needs replacing, fuel rail, and fuel filter. Okay, so let's mark off everything we have discovered. And there's still a few items that isn't discovered yet, which is interesting. Engine is working but choppy, but yet it won't start, which is, you know, just a huge contradiction, isn't it? Excuse me. Right. Okay. Now there's a lot of blue there, isn't there? A lot of blue. Let's start by getting the throttle off. And we'll take this intake manifold off. Let's get this engine head cover off. Alright, next engine head cover. Ignition coils, you can come out next. Right, let's move on to this side. I'm gonna have a lot of stuff to recondition here in this job, I would imagine. Which is good because, you know, it saves us money. Let's move on to timing next. So belt, no, idler roller B's first, then the belt, alternator, you can come off, power steering pump, you can come off, idler roller, you're next. We'll get this idler roller as well. Then I think we can get the timing cover off. Yeah, and belt tensioner will be next in line. Then the timing belt. Crankshaft pulley, you're coming off. That arm is coming off. Idler rollers again. Alright, cam gears, you're coming off. Alright, exhaust manifolds, you're next for shaving. Okay. Let's move over this side, get this manifold off. Alright, now ignition coils. We'll move on to you next. And then spark plugs. And then I think we'll get the... What am I missing here? There we go, that's what I'm looking for. Okay, now we'll get this bearing cap off. And then the camshaft should come out. And then the engine head. No, wait, we have to get the fuel rails. And intake manifold. And we'll do the same over here. Get these crankshaft bearing caps off. Okay, now out come the camshafts, then the engine head. No, wait, spark plugs. Forgot to do the spark plugs on this side. What have we got here? Thermostat. It's a big ass thermostat. Engine head. Alright, same on this side. We're getting great XP here. This is the only good thing about doing a job like this. Get absolutely fantastic XP out of it. Let's get the water pump out. We'll recondition it. We're looking pretty damn good. Do you know what? I can see that the air filter needs work here as well. So we'll get this off and we'll recondition the air filter case and cover. ABS looks fine. Battery, what's the battery like? Battery's fine. But look at this, the radiator is in tatters. Okay, now we can lift her up. Up she goes. So, drive shaft will be first. Then we'll get the starter, and then we'll take the gearbox off. Gearbox, you're next for shaving. And it looks like the flywheel, clutch plate, pressure plate, and release bearing all need replacing. Okay, now we're going to drop the oil out of the sump. Because we're going to take off the oil pan, or the sump, whatever you want to call it. Okay, now we're going to undo the pistons. I wonder, does that crankshaft need work? I think we'll take it out anyway, just to be safe. These rod caps we'll be able to recondition, and the crankshaft bearing caps as well, actually. Which is great, because it will save us buying new ones, and it just makes things much easier and simple when you can put on all reconditioned parts. Alright, pistons, out you come. Okay, now we'll lift her up again. We'll get the crankshaft out, and then we will recondition everything. What's that engine block like? It's average, it's okay, it's fine. Right, let's start reconditioning parts. So this is going to be a fairly substantial list, I suspect. It's already looking that way. But that's what I was figuring anyway. That we would be able to recondition a lot of parts, which will make the reassembly much easier. And there's the end of it now. Excellent. Okay, crankshaft, you can go back in now. Assuming you're 100%, it is indeed. Okay, so now we drop her down. And now we're going to put in pistons. So I got to identify. Looks like all three on this side needs new pistons, which I just happen to have. Alright, now 2 new pistons on this side, it looks like. And just confirm that, yep, that looks right. Okay, so second-hand piston here, along with second-hand rings. Yep, we're looking good. Alright, engine heads reconditions can go back on now. Okay, camshafts recondition can go back in. Camshaft bearing caps. I wasn't able to recondition those. That's interesting. Right, okay. We'll get the next one on here. And I need a new camshaft for the other side. Camshaft V6B. So we'll do a search for V6B. V6B. Camshaft, there it is there. I'll only buy the one because... Oh, actually, we'll come back to it in a minute. Yeah, we don't come across these very often, so it wouldn't be wise to waste money on something that we're not going to use a lot of. Right, camshaft bearing, so we need a new one of those. There it is there. Put that one on. Alright, engine head, all nice and reconditioned like. Cam gears, I need to be careful with that now, so right, second hand one can go on there, second hand one can go on there, second hand one can go on here, and let's get that cover on. Okay, I'll get this head cover on next. Lovely. Alright, intake manifold, you can go on now. And either roller, second hand one can go on there. Actually, wait, no, I need to... Let's mark off what we've done and what is yet to be discovered. That's right, that's right. One there as well. That looks right there. Alright, we haven't done any of that yet. Gearbox stuff we haven't done. Actually, I don't need to mark those. Right. Water pump, you can definitely go back in because you're reconditioned. Second-hand roller can go on here. Power steering pump reconditioned, you can go back on. Along with, I doubt we have an alternator. Yeah, we have to get a new alternator. We need idler rollers. Crankshaft pulley is fine. Right, fuel rails. 2 reconditioned can go in. Exhaust manifold. Wait a minute. Yeah, let's put that one. Actually, I suppose it doesn't matter really, does it? Okay. Idler roller on here. Arm. We need a new arm. Okay. So alternator arm, idler rollers, cam gear. Right. Let's see if I can remember all of that. There's the arm. There's the cam gear. Roller. A will pick up 6 of them. B will pick up 5. And an alternator. Alt should return that for us. Okay, I think I done well there. Now the alternator. Then this little arm. And the belt that came off can go back on. Timing covers, reconditioned, can go back on. Belt tensioner that came off can go back on. Now this timing cover. Oh, we need a new timing cover. Timing cover BV6B. Right. V6B. So if we go down to the bottom. Oh shit, which one is it? I'm gonna take a chance that it's that one. There we go, that's better. Now timing cover A is fine, it's all reconditioned. Idler roller, there we go, that's what I'm missing. And now a belt, the one that came off it, along with another idler roller. And we are looking really good. Okay. I do need an exhaust manifold V6B, so let's find that now. It should be up here somewhere. Why am I not seeing it? Front exhaust. Exhaust manifold, there we are. Okay, I think radiator next. Oh, we need a new radiator. Okay, that's fine. Air filter base, along with air filter, along with air filter cover. Oh, we need a new one of those as well. Okay. I think we should mark off everything that we have done now. Make it a little bit easier to determine what is left to be worked on. Okay. Which ones of these need spark plugs? I think all of these ones are secondhand, but these two over here are new. So we'll put in new ones there. And secondhand ones in the remainder. And it's all new ignition coils, which I think I have more than enough of. So now we'll go back over the far side and we'll put in second-hand plugs here. I'm running low on plugs as well. I'm going to have to pick some up soon. And again, all brand new ignition coils across the board on this side as well. Okay, fuel filter, you're next for shaving. We're looking pretty damn good. Oh yes, the thermostat, mustn't forget about that. Fuel rails are in. Yeah, I think we're done up here. Well, with the exception of the air cover and the radiator. It's a radiator A, isn't it? It is, and an air cover. Right, let's work underneath. And while she's lifting up, we'll pick up those 2 remaining items. So, radiator A. And I think I'll pick up like 5 of them to have some spares. And then air cover. Air filter base. Air filter cover there. And we'll pick up one of those. Right, now we're going to start working on the bottom end of the engine. So we'll get in here like so. We'll start putting on these rod caps. They're all reconditioned. And we'll get the crankshaft bearing caps back in place again. Again, they are all reconditioned. Or at least the ones that we're going using are going to be reconditioned. Okay, one more there. And now the oil pan can go back on. Excellent. Alright, that's that done. What are we doing on time? 22 minutes. Yeah, that sounds about right. Sounds about right, I think. Let's work on the suspension stuff. And hopefully we can identify pretty easily what actually needs work. Okay. So it looks like... Wow, okay, so that has to be stripped down to the knuckle. So all of this is coming off. Alright, bearing, out you come. Wheel hub, you're coming off. Knuckle cover, you're coming off. End link A, you're coming off. Then the shock. Outer tie rod. Followed by inner tie rod. Followed by lower suspension arm. And then the knuckle. We'll take out that front exhaust section as well. And then we'll move over this side. Alright, the bearing and everything looks fine there. So, outer tie rod, you can come off. Inner tie rod, steering rack, and lower suspension arm. And we'll take off this end link so that we can get at the sway bar, which is just an ordinary front sway bar. Right. Let's get that shock sorted first. So it's a front shock absorber A. I don't think I have one of those. We'll see if I do. Shock. Alright, there it is there. Do I have a front shock absorber A? I do. Wow, okay, that's good. Okay, now we'll see what we can recondition. I don't expect this to be a huge list, and indeed it's not. Okay. Steering rack, in you go. Yeah, we'll do this side first. Alright, second hand outer tie rod can go in there, I remember that. Next would be lower suspension arm. along with brand new rubber bushings and an end link. Where's the end link? Oh, of course the sway bar isn't in. Do I have a front sway bar? I don't. Shiza. Right, on to the other side. Do I have a knuckle? I do. That's fantastic. Lower suspension arm is next, along with new rubber bushings. Along with the shock. Get you in now. Then we'll get the front wheel hub in. Followed by a wheel bearing. Followed by a brake disc. And I think the second hand one can go in. Second hand here again. Second hand pads. And a reconditioned caliper. Right, so I need to get that sway bar and front exhaust section C. Alright, let's... what was it? V6B, wasn't it? Front exhaust section C. There we go. Then I wanted... oh my god. What was it? Sway bar. Front sway bar, there we go. We'll buy 3 of them. Excuse me. And I think that's it. So let's get that sway bar in, followed by the front exhaust section, followed by the end link, new end link here. I think we'll put a new one in anyway. And yeah, we can put the wheel back on, I suppose. And then we'll put the end link on over the other side, and then the wheel back on there as well. Alright, so end link. Yep, second hand. Followed by the wheel. Alright, let's take a look at our list now and see what is left. Okay. This is great. Most of it is done. Still 2 items to be discovered there. And a few items to be discovered there. I suspect that's all going to be down the back. Yeah. Okay. Gearbox, you're next for shaving. So we'll get a new flywheel on, we'll get a new clutch plate on, we'll get a new pressure plate on, we'll get a new release bearing on, and a new gearbox. Right, now starter, you can go back on so that I don't forget about it. And now we can move down the back. Oh my god, the entire axle has to be replaced. Hannah. Alright. So, which means we have to strip absolutely everything in order to replace that. So, we're going to have a list of stuff here again that we can recondition. Shock, you can come out. U-bolts, you're next. Okay, moving on to the other side. Hopefully we shouldn't be too much longer at this job now. We're cutting through things pretty rapidly. We've the bulk of it done. This axle shouldn't take too long to replace, I would imagine. Right, I think that's it. Nope. Oh, the knuckle's still on here. Okay, let's get that fuel pump out. And I think I have one of those in stores. My last one, actually. Wow. Okay, reconditioning time. Fairly substantial list. Not a huge list, but a fairly substantial one. Yeah, see, there we go. That was a good few items. Now, what sort of an axle was it? Leaf spring axle, I think. Coil spring. Do I have one? I don't. Let's do a search for spring. Spring. Leaf spring. Coil spring. There we go. Pick up one of those. And we'll get the axle back in. And you know what I should do? I should mark off the last few remaining items. Here we go. This is what I wanted to do. Right, transmission all done and all done there. Excellent. Okay, the reason why I wanted to do that was because... Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. I want to make sure I'm only putting new parts in where I need to put in new parts. And apparently I needed to put in a new part there. Or else it was already top-notch when I put it in the first place. Oh, no, of course I reconditioned it. That's why. Duh. Yeah, we can put in some new pads and a reconditioned caliper. Okay, and shock absorber B, second hand can go in there. Solid axle arm, recondition can go in there. Spring cap, recondition can go in there, along with spring, second hand, along with shock absorber cap, second hand, and leaf spring plate. And U-bolts. Do we have second-hand U-bolts? I have a lot of U-bolts. Alright, second-hand it is. Or brand new it is, not second-hand, sorry. And a brand new rubber bushing. Followed by the wheel. Okay, now we move over the far side and we'll start working here as well. Now a new spring cap, a new spring, a new shock absorber cap, solid axle control arm, a new rubber bushing, new leaf spring plate, along with new U-bolts. Alright, let's move on to the knuckle. Okay, we are looking good, I think. That's all taken care of there. So we can put the wheel back on now. And let's take a look at our list. Alright, just one item there. One item there. 2 items undiscovered there. That has me a little bit worried, to tell you the truth. But we have a lot of it already complete. Excellent. Transmission, yeah, all done. Right. What could be forgotten about? Let's get the drive shaft back in. Could it be something on this wheel? I mean, let's do some inspections. Oh no, that's all done. Okay. So is it the other... Oh yes, the other wheel that we haven't inspected. Hopefully something pops up here because I'm at a loss as to what the problem could be. There isn't a whole lot else that we haven't already discovered or worked on. Oh, rubber bushings. I'll bet you it's rubber bushings. These damn things. 72%, that one's fine. This one doesn't look good. Yep. Right, let's get this one. Looks middling. Yeah. And this one looks really bad. Okay. So, new rubber bushing here. Secondhand rubber bushing here. New rubber bushing here. And secondhand rubber bushing here. Right, how are we looking now? Alright, so just the radiator there. Air filter cover there. Running gear faults, all done. Transmission, gearbox, yep, excellent. Right, let's drop the car down. All the way. We'll get the air filter base in here now, along with the clips. Mustn't forget about the clips. And then the radiator. Followed by the housing. And that should be the job finished. Except I didn't put any oil in the engine, which I need to do right now. So, what's that? 37 minutes. Yeah, that's what I expected for this kind of job. But we got great XP out of it, which is fantastic. There we go, that's that filled. And we can drop the hood. And we'll do one last inspection. All done there. All done there. All done there. All done there. And all done there. Sweet. So we spent just over 10 grand on parts and we're getting 31,500 back in payout. Absolutely marvellous. Right, musical chairs time. Let's move this bad boy to lifter A. Move this one to lifter B. Move this one back here to lifter C. And we'll move this one to garage entrance A. And we'll wrap it up there for now. So thanks a million for watching, folks. I hope you all enjoyed this episode. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Do all that good stuff. And my name is Winters, and I'll catch you next time. So until then, take care.